And Swazi High Court Judge Thomas Masuku has been fired. He's accused of insulting King Mswati. eNews has learned that Justice Minister David Matshe is also in hot water. He's been suspended for refusing to sign Judge Masuku's dismissal letter. He could be fired as well. Swazi lawyers are boycotting the courts in protest. The legal fraternity is calling Masuku's dismissal unethical. Joining me to unravel this matter further is Nicole Fritz from the South African Litigation Center. Nicole, thank you for joining us. Let's get straight into this one. First of all, law bodies say the initial 12 charges of misconduct put to Masuku were vague and unsubstantiated, and several of them were dropped during the disciplinary hearing. Now, is Mr. Masuku's hearing, is it unfair?
It was unfair. It was unfair on several grounds. Some of them relate to substantive matters relating to the charges. As the legal body said, the charges were so vague and unsubstantiated that they led to the perception that they were spurious. So, for instance, initially he was charged with seeking to bring about unlawful regime change, that he was destabilizing high court judges and staff. In the end result, those charges were abandoned at the hearing. I mean, there wasn't even any effort to substantiate those charges. What you were left with charges that, to some extent, were so minimal that even if proven, they didn't warrant a dismissal. But the hearing itself was not only tainted by the nature of the substantive charges, but also procedurally. So Judge Masuku, in fact, requested that the hearing be public so that he be given the opportunity to clear his name publicly, that there had been considerable interest in the matter. That was denied. The Chief Justice, Ramadibedi, who acted as accuser and judge, there was an application made for him to recuse himself on the basis that that was a conflict of interest. He refused. And most shockingly, there was an application made to offer an opportunity to Judge Masuku's counsel to cross-examine the deponents to the affidavits made against him, sort of alleging his misconduct, and that was denied. And that is a basic violation of fundamental principles of fair trial, that you would not be given the opportunity to cross-examine those who allege the misconduct.
Okay, for the benefit of our viewers, are there any legal channels that Masuku can approach to have this dismissal overturned?
Absolutely, and those procedures will be followed. We will attempt will be made to use the Swazi court, so an application for review of this decision will be made, and that will be taken through the Swazi courts. And unfortunately, given the nature of the prosecutor, I mean the individual making the charges, it's the Chief Justice, to the extent that there is not an opportunity to for a fair hearing for Judge Masuku within the Swaziland courts, then international regional procedures will be considered.
So the Swaziland Law Society are now boycotting the courts. Should we expect more dismissals?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, we've seen the Minister of Justice suspended. I mean, as you indicated, it looks like he may be fired. He may be fired for acting on principle. He refused to sign the dismissal order because he believed that the procedures against Judge Masuku were so tainted that this was an abuse of the legal process. So that might happen. But you have a judicial system in Swaziland in crisis at the moment. The lawyers are boycotting the courts because they have issued a complaint against the Chief Justice. The Judicial Services Commission will not receive that complaint against the Chief Justice. And last week, the lawyers in Swaziland took to the streets in protest. I mean, it's an unprecedented action on their part in order to draw attention to the crisis in Swaziland. So you do have a situation that warrants the most enormous concern at the present time.
All right, Nicole, thank you for your insights. That was Nicole Fritz from the South African Litigation Center.